we're doing ratings. It is John Gibbons with Kev Walsh, and we're smiling, Kev.
We are smiling.
Smiling more than we were after fucking PSV or whatever it was.
Fucking, I thought we'd never score a goal again, let alone win a game. But it's mad how much rosier it feels, isn't it? You're looking ahead and I'm going, Sunderland, shite them, Leeds, shite them. Tell you what, mate, honestly, God, I'm looking at bets for are we going to win the World Cup, the Ryder Cup, the fucking whatever tennis cup you can get into, lad. Get a lot of them in, because the Reds are boss again.
Yeah, I had a text straight after it, a message in a WhatsApp group from Craig going, who's doing Leeds next week? And it's like suddenly, like, yeah, everyone wants to do sort of every away game because they've not just won, they've won away. But we're going to talk about 5 players, so how it works on the ratings. If you've not sort of seen them before, no, we're doing the 3 week. But yeah, we tend to pick 5. And I want to start with Joe Gomez because we were laughing before. We might not get a chance again. It's his first start for 10 months, I think it is. League starts. There'll be some cup ones thrown in there. But I thought he did well, and I thought he showed the benefit of just a solid fullback there. Listen, he puts a couple of decent crosses in, especially first half, and gets an assist in the second half. But he's not in the team, for that. We know we're not going to get these, incredible whip balls from him. But what you are going to get is what we saw today. And I was pleased he did 90 as well because it shows that his body can't be too far away from playing more.
Yeah, I watched it with Andy Bell and Adam, who just done the post-match pint, and we were talking and saying there's a lot to be said for a fullback who blocks crosses. Yeah. And he's obviously a centre-back playing out there, and I've been screaming for him of recent over the Konate especially, but I just thought he done it. I described his performance as very typically Joe Gomez, just quietly doing everything that he needs to do all the time. I thought he played really well. As you said, he actually got forward. There's one where Areola comes out and just takes it off Isak's toe, isn't it, with the crossing. But he's not really there for that, and I don't think we necessarily need him for that today. What we needed was just a little bit of solidity, a little bit of, I know exactly where he'll be, and I know exactly what he'll do when he's going to do it. Whereas I think previously this season, we probably had a little bit of, I'm just not sure what everyone else is up to here. And it's shown in our performance, hasn't it? But as a performance from him, I just don't think you could get more Joe Gomez than that. Everything that was put in front of him, he just dealt with, whether that was an attacking thing with the crosses or, more importantly, from the point of view of we're struggling for centre-backs. If there was a defensive situation, he's the man to be there and just quietly get on with it, isn't he? There's probably a good reason why Van Dijk a few years ago said he's my favourite centre-back partner, because he knows there's no sort of... Ego's probably a good word in relation to what we've seen this season with other defenders. I'm not going to take anyone out, but with Gomez, he doesn't really have that. No. His job is just, my job is to make sure that they don't score, and he's so good at it. Like, the 90 minutes thing's massive, I think, because now the manager probably goes, as long as we don't hear in the press conference pre-Sunderland, he's
not trained for 2 days because he's fucked.
Yeah, he's pulled a fingernail or something, do you know what I mean? But I just think that performance from someone, as you've just said there, I think he played 2 games in however long it is, because the manager's been all over saying that, hasn't he, recently? I just feel like that was the performance needed from someone who's coming in under pressure, really, not in terms of probably personal pressure, but in terms of pressure on the team and pressure on the manager, pressure, to be fair, pressure on the fans. People were asking me what did they think coming into today, and I was like, I'm not confident, and I wasn't.
I said on the Friday night, I thought he'd get beat.
Yeah, but I genuinely, I was of the same.
I didn't realise how shit West Ham are, is what I would say.
No, well, listen, you couldn't have hand-picked a better, more meeker team to play against than obviously Paqueta's lost his marbles or got a bet on himself or something, because that was wild. But there's the age-old thing, if you can only beat what's in front of you. And today, Liverpool comprehensively beat it. And it probably comes from having players like him out there, where no matter who it is on the pitch or on the ball, goes, well, I know if I give it to him, he's not going to lose it. And if I put him under pressure, or if I play this pass to, say, for instance, it goes out wide to the right, to whoever's out there, if he does make a mess of it, I know Joe Gomez is there, solid and dependable, and effectively another centre-back playing out there. And I just thought he had a really good game. I think I've been saying for a while I wanted him back in the team, and I'd have preferred it at centre-back. But I think at right back there, you couldn't criticise a single move that he made during the game today.
So what score are you giving him out of 10?
given what I've just said there, and I can't pick any faults with him, he hasn't scored a goal, which you'd probably give him a 10. So I think you've probably got to give him a 9, haven't you? I think realistically, if you're in the papers now, you'd be going 7.5, 8 or whatever. But in terms of what I've wanted from a Liverpool defender for the last, fucking hell, it feels like the last 10 years. I've certainly aged 10 years in watching him, but I think in terms of what he's done, it's a solid 8, and I think he can be very proud of his day.
Yeah, I was going to give him a 7, but Kev's taught me into an 8, and he's taught me into worse things over the years, didn't he?
I really have.
So that's brilliant. So we'll give Joe Gomez a lovely 8, and it was great to see him. And he probably helped the fella next to him as well, who we're going to talk about next, Ibrahim Konate. Now, I mean, Konate needs to string a few more of these performances together before I think he's winning people back over. There's a lot of talk with Slot this season saying, he's got a lot of, goodwill and things like that. Konate feels like he's got the opposite at the moment, but it was good from him today, and there was much more like it, just nothing stupid, and good solid defender.
Yeah, I think for the majority of the game, he did all of the things that I've been criticising him for not doing in the build-up to this game, and I've been vocal, because he's been terrible. He's literally been terrible.
It's one of the worst ones from a Liverpool player I can remember.
Well, it genuinely is, and I can be critical of them in fucking a 20-minute spell, let alone a 10 to 12, 15 game spell, whatever he's at the moment where he's shit in the bed. But I thought today, I was saying to Andy downstairs and to Adam, he's just doing the simple things all the time. He just won a few headers. There was one where the goalkeeper comes out, I don't know if it's a cross or a corner, I can't remember what it was, but the goalie comes, and the goalie might have got there, but Konate was like, no mate, this is my one. So the goalie comes out and maybe looks a little bit like he's misjudged it, but it wasn't. It was just because Konate's gone, I know for a fact that I can get this out of the danger area. And it feels like to me, a few times this season, if I'm being totally honest, a few times every single game, he makes a different decision. Now, whether that's trusting somebody else or whatever. And I thought he just played the basics of the game all the way through, and that was fine. And there was a few times I noticed, because Neil made some good points to the post PSV, that a lot of the players didn't want to pass to him, and I felt like Van Dijk today was making a concerted effort to say to people in the wider areas when they were looking to come back, give me. And that's probably got a little bit to do with what you just said there in terms of West Ham being very meek, and until they went 1-0 behind, they just didn't really try. But I think when he got it, he just used it simply. He didn't feel the pressure to try and build the play. I think he understood that his job today was to just do the defensive thing, defend our goal. That's all you needed to do. And I thought he played really well up until the point we went 1-0 down. And I don't know whether it's because I've got such a critical eye on him at the moment, and I'm so aware of every mistake that he makes. I thought at 1-0 down, he was the one who was potentially going to make a mistake that was going to cost us. There was one little area of play where the midfielder, I can't remember which one it was now, slid in and missed the ball. And straight away, you're just screaming in my head for just solid, just stay in your shape, stay solid. And he comes bursting out, and he does like a little 10-yard run, and he slides in and misses the ball. And I was just thinking, fucking hell, lads, you've done so well all game. Don't get carried away. Let somebody else do that job, and then you go for it. As I say, that's probably the best performance I've seen. I've never been his biggest fan, but because I'm so focused on him at the moment, I can see what he's doing well, I can see what he's doing wrong, and today he did more well than he did wrong, as I say, up until that point. And it was the slide tackle out where I just thought, mate, that's ego, that. It's you saying, I know I haven't been playing well, but I've played well today, and watch this, I know, for fuck's sake, they're in behind me. And I was just a bit like, just stay in your lane a little bit. We've got other players to do that type of stuff. But overall, I think he did really well. And to be honest, I made up that he did, because had he had a nightmare again today, or maybe cost us a goal today, even if we'd have won 2-1, I would have been a bit like, he's got to go for Sunderland. And now I think it's fair to say that, listen, regardless of the performance, they probably would have played against Sunderland anyway. But I think today he's probably earned his position at the back there, and you'd imagine Gomez has as well, so it's a little bit more solid. But I thought overall today he did really well. Not quite as good as Gomez, but that might be a little bit of bias, because I fucking love Joe Gomez.
So what we give him Konate?
Good, I'm going to give him a 7, because I think he's done all of the jobs that he needs to do. He's had that little rick in him And normally you say, well, it hasn't really resulted in anything, but because of the form that he's been in, I just want them to realise he needs to stay in his lane. But I think overall a solid 7. And I think it was Adam said to me before, they didn't have a single shot on target. And if you're a centre-back and the opposition had a single shot, had a single shot on target, but you can't argue with your day's work then, can you? So, yeah, solid 7, keep it up, Ibu.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I'm going to jump forward in terms of the team, so miss out a line, if you like, and go to the attacking players and start with Florian Wirtz, who plays all over the pitch at the moment. It's hard to know exactly where he was. At times he was 10, at times he was left, but he gives 60 minutes where he looks really dangerous, and I understand only giving him 60 because I didn't even realise he'd be fit for the game, so he was obviously sort of touch and go, but I thought he was great and I thought he was really bright.
I thought he was excellent today. I think he's another one who, in the Joe Gomez, it's weird to say it about the forward players because we've been speaking recently about Neil especially has been saying you can't be a mercurial centre-half, and it's true, and he's a mercurial attacking midfielder, stroke, wherever you want to play him. And I think that's half the problem at the moment. We don't know. Where does he play today? I'm not 100% sure. Where's his best position? Well, I'm not 100% certain. But today I thought he was excellent. There was one point where he's covering at right back. And I turned around to the lads and just went, he put some yards in for a player who's supposed to be creating the goals. And that's not always a good sign, by the way. Sometimes I watch attacking players doing that running. And the reason they're doing it is because they know they stink up front, or they stink in the...
It's not happening for
them. They stink in the attacking third. And don't get me wrong, I would much rather an attacking player who understands that in the final third, it's not working for me to say, so I'll work my plums off to make sure that I'm doing it in the back bit. But then the ball through, I think it was to Gakpo. Gakpo sets up Isak, doesn't he? Yeah. Am I right thinking? So the ball through to Gakpo was from Wirtz, and I just thought, wow, what a, like, it's probably 5, 6, 7 yards, but it was absolutely perfect.
The ref was trying to get in his way as
well.
Yeah.
He just, that's that type of ball that you think, that's obvious, but it's only obvious if you are absolutely fucking brilliant and you know what's going on before you've received the ball. Because the second you've received the ball, he's on the edge of the box as he receives it. The second you receive it, there's 2 or 3 players around you, and he's had the clarity of vision to go, I know where he is, and he's played, and the weight of the ball is another thing that it's easy to see the ball sometimes. We've all played football. It's hard to fucking play that ball. Like, how many times you tried to play a 5-yard ball? Say what Curtis Jones did, suppose like there was his Forest, nearly fucking knocked him out. Szoboszlai has to header it. Wirtz just plays an inch perfect ball, perfectly weighted, which it then allows Gakpo to set up Isak. And obviously, when you go down to stats and things like that, and I know Sky Sports, they'll have it this week, he still hasn't got an assist. As far as I'm concerned, that's as good as an assist, because if he doesn't play that ball in exactly the way that he plays it, there's no chance that Gakpo can play the ball back to Isak, and there's no chance Isak can score. I don't know whether I don't feel like I'm on my own in this, and I feel like there's probably a lot along with me. I feel like Wirtz, every time I've watched him play, do you know when you watch a player and you just go, he's fucking great, him. Like, he's great. Now, we might not always be doing it in a winning team at the moment, especially, or he might not always be getting the goal or the assist, but the way Thiago was so good at the pass before the pass, Gini Wijnaldum was brilliant at the pass before the pass. I feel like that's what he is. And the pass before the pass only becomes useful if the 2 lads who are playing in that final 12, 16, 18 yards of the pitch do their jobs as well. And I feel like he's been playing in passes all season. No, it wouldn't be a surprise if he said, I am a little bit low on confidence because I think I'm doing all right, but it's just not coming off for me. Whereas today he's played that ball. Gakpo, brilliant with what he does, plays it off to Isak, and Isak's finish is amazing. And I genuinely thought he was really good today. I know he come off early, obviously due to the injury thing, but I thought he was excellent today. And he's exactly the type of footballer who I don't mind paying on to watch like that type of lad play football, because he does things with the ball that I know I could play for the rest of my life, and I could train every single minute, every single day, and I'd never be able to see what he can do. And I love watching players like that.
Yeah, what are we going to out of 10?
I'm going to give him a solid 8 as well. Like, if he'd got a goal, maybe, but I don't think he had a couple of opportunities first half. There was one where he sort of
doesn't really get hold of it.
Well, no, so that one as well, he doesn't get hold of it. He sort of scuffs it a little bit. There's one about 2 or 3 minutes previous to that, and he just the little snake hips thing, and he just comes through, and it's lovely again. It's another one of those things I watch and go, like, I've played football all my life, and I've never done that. Like, literally, not even once have I even thought about doing that. And it's to be honest, it's probably a little bit far away. It's probably 28 yards away. But I just thought, just smash that. And the feeling I had from it was 3 or 4 months down the line, he has got a couple of goals. I think they're the type of ones he hits. Not the way Coutinho used to hit them 25 yards out and he bend it into the top corner. I think Wirtz had that opportunity there, but I can understand why he hasn't taken it. But yeah, a really solid 8 for him. I thought he was really good again. And as I keep saying, he's probably going to be my favourite player. He's the type of player I love watching play football.
Yeah, he's absolutely fantastic, and hopefully he can go on a little run now. We can see much more of Florian versus Snake Hips. That I've definitely seen Kev do once or twice, but just not necessarily
only a Benidorm.
I'll give it 8 as well. We'll do Gakpo, shall we? He gets a goal and an assist, and he contributes to the win today. He's a funny player, isn't he, Cody? And often with fans, he's the one where, you know, people want to make changes when it's not going well. He's always the one to drop out. But the manager, you know, by and large, has kept picking him. He's not picked him every game. You know, there was a couple of times where Wirtz has popped up left, but generally more often than not, he's picked him. And well, he's certainly worthy of a start today.
Well, exactly. So I said at half time that first half either becomes. That's exactly what we needed today, because we had to just stay solid, make sure nothing went wrong. And I think anyone looking back from the previous game was the biggest thing we said, stop doing silly things, stop giving encouragement. And we weren't even necessarily giving encouragement, were we? Earlier on in the season, we were giving goals away. So I said at half time, I said that could either be a fantastic first half if we come out and play well second half, which we really did, or it could be a nightmare because if we give a goal away in the first 5 minutes, we're knackered. And I felt like Cody Gakpo's performance was a little bit like that, really. I don't think he was brilliant. I don't think he was. He didn't look mega dangerous. Come away with a goal and an assist. So if one of your front three comes away with a goal and an assist, as far as I'm concerned, that's their job done.
Yeah.
They don't have to. I would much rather every one of our front three plays terribly and gets a goal and assist every game, because we've scored at least 3 goals, or there might be some sort of mathematical way that it could be 2. Yeah. So I think that's what I want from an attacker. He got criticised really badly last week for the pull out in midfield against Nottingham Forest, and understandably so, because I criticised him last year when they beat us at Anfield. He should have been the one who pulled back, whichever player it was, who set Hudson-Odoi up. But I think today, again, we've been told, haven't we, that what we want from him is output. Well, output is goals and assists from players we're playing in that front three, and I think today that's what he's got. I don't think he got loads of service. I don't think it was like, it wasn't like when we used to have Mane, Salah and Firmino up front and we had the ball in the final third for 60% of the game. It wasn't that. So what you've got to do is you've got to be clinical in them moments, and I thought his assist was lovely, just sets it up for Isak, who, by the way, it was still a wonderful finish, but I thought his goal was fantastic because it comes at him at a really awkward height, at probably a few miles an hour too fast. He has that ability and that self-awareness to just drop his chest back, let it fall in front of him, and then a lovely finish. So, do you know what? You can't give a striker, or a forward, whatever we're calling him these days, less than an 8 out of 10 if he's got a goal and assist. So I'm becoming a bit samey here, but fucking I'm going for it.
I'm into it. Big 8s for the boys who are doing bits, and like you say, that is all you want from a forward, and he's delivered it today. And let's finish on the fella that you've just mentioned there, Isak, because I was a bit worried about him first 20. I feel like you talked about being overly critical of certain players. You know, I feel like when I'm watching him, there was one where he gets the ball into feet and it's just a heavy touch and they've got it. And I was like, I can't be doing that. But really, if he's scoring 30 goals a season, I'm the last. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And so, like, forwards are going to lose the ball sometimes. There's sometimes with a forward where you need to be stronger than he isn't, or whatever. Or any footballer can just take a bad touch. But because the other stuff hasn't been coming, and maybe hyper-analysing it and going like, oh, he's way off it, The goal shows the quality that he's got, and it wasn't his only good moments.
I think with him, we've got to consider him to be more of an Erling Haaland forward than we have a Bobby Firmino, because Bobby Firmino was probably, since Robbie Fowler, my favourite Liverpool player. If we could get anybody in the world to play that role, I'd watch them, because Bobby Firmino was unbelievable at it. But he was a unicorn for football. He was the only one that I've ever seen do the role. And I genuinely do mean ever. Like, he's the only one I've seen play that role. You can't have a number 9 who's selfless enough to funnel the ball into a Mane and a Salah. We had Bobby there. So I think you've got to be careful of watching Isak and thinking, just be a bit more involved, be a bit more... I don't really want him to be involved. If he's involved, what that says to me is he's dropped deep and they've got a bank of 4, and let's face it, 5 in most cases behind him. I don't want him in that position. I want him on the shoulder of the last man, and I want him ready to take them chances. And I thought, again, it's similar to Gakpo. If a striker scores a goal, and he's only played 67 minutes, I think it was, I was saying downstairs, I wouldn't mind, can we push him a little bit further? Because it feels to me a little bit like with him, he'll come alive in the later parts of the game, where teams are a little bit more stretched. And I'm not talking about bringing him on either, by the way. I want him to play a full 90 where he gets to maybe not score a goal like today, but he gets to just keep going and working the game out and feeling like, okay, well, this fella, he likes to drive forward, or this fella, like, whatever it is that he works out, I think that's where his best games for Liverpool will come from. There was a stat that popped up halfway through the game, but obviously it will have been late, actually, because there was a stat that said about goals post 80 minutes, I think it was. And I was thinking, Isak's probably thinking, I fucking know. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Because I've worked out these two lads, and I know that in the 83rd minute, he might have been perfect the full match, but he's tired now, and I know what to do in that moment. And I think once he gets that fitness and the ability to play 90 minutes, it might not be from the first 90 minutes, but I feel like the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, he will start getting them like goals. That being said, I think his finish was phenomenal, you know. I think his finish was, like, it's unbelievable the way he does it, because as a striker, if you get that chance and you've not scored for what's probably in his head seems like an eternity, I think it's his first Premier League goal for Liverpool, isn't it? That's snatch territory, isn't it? Every player who isn't £125 million striker in the world snatches at that chance. He doesn't. He's got that calmness and that clarity of vision to go, this just needs putting in that area. And I think the ball from Gakpo was excellent, but it wasn't perfect. And he punched it down into the turf, and he's used that to put it into probably the only gap on the pitch that it needed to go into. Now, you're going to ask me for a score for him, and I'm going to give him a fucking 9.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 9.
Unexpected 9, yeah.
Unexpected 9, because, do you know why? Because goal scorers, that's their job. Like, not to get all Roy Keane on ourselves here, but that's their job. That's not listen, I'm not massively into XG, and I like listening to the review and all, I like listening to Josh Williams, but a bit of me feels like the eye test is a little bit more worthy of it. The eye test today said to me that he's been in a game where he hasn't had any chances, really. I don't feel like that's even really a perfect chance. But that's the moments where he's gone, this is me. The ball's fallen to him, and whatever XG give, whatever stats one or whatever gives the XG for it, I feel like he's made it more of a chance than it actually was by his calmness, and he's just put it right in. Honestly, when you look, there's a brilliant shot of it from behind the goal, and it's literally, it's kissing the post, isn't it? And as a striker, that's what I want. And so I'm not giving him a 9 because what I want from him is more confidence. So if you're watching Alex, lad, 9 is right.
Keep it going. I'll give you a 7, but listen to Kev. Kev always knows best, except when he doesn't. But we'll worry about that.
Benidorm again.
That has been the ratings. We're all smiles because Liverpool have won the game, and the most important score today is Liverpool 2, and that is always what we're in it for. And of
Amen.
course, West Ham 0. Huge thanks to Paddy for filming all of this, to Kev, and hope you've enjoyed all of free week this week. Do subscribe to the Anfield Wrap. Do get stuck in. Gift subscriptions are available if you want them as well. So buy them for yourselves or others, or just tell your auntie who's pestering you for what to get you for Christmas. The Anfield Wrap gift subscription, please. Or get on the app. Enjoy that. And yeah, who knows? We might be on the up. We might even beat someone.
No, no might about it. We're on the fucking up. We're going to let the Sunderland and Leeds are getting it. And then, if Arsenal scored...
no, Chelsea have had a man sent off.
Oh, fuck's sake, Chelsea. Why did you keep that happen? But anyway, Chelsea are going to win here. And we're going to win the league.
Up to Reds.